Janet Peterson is here. We're going to ask her to come up and say a few words about all of this to a very special person.
My name is Janet Peterson, Janet Carkin Peterson. My husband is Lowell. We live in Graham. We first met Don and Loretta when he was doing his 8,000-mile walk for MS in Game Farm Park here in Auburn. It has been a pleasure, privilege, and an adventure getting to know them. Don and Loretta have a very special place in my heart because of all they did for my brother John Carkin. John walked many miles with Don in Game Farm Park, and when he could no longer walk because of Lewy body disease, which is like having Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, Don and Loretta visited him many times at a healthcare facility in Federal Way, where they prayed with him and sang his favorite hymns, one of which was How Great Thou Art. I've had Don sing it many times for me. After my brother passed away 2 years ago, Don and Loretta have gone many places with us to scatter and bury ashes. We went to Tokeland and Westport, where ashes were sent to sea in a bottle. It was found 3 days later by a Native American at Tohola. In talking to him, we found out that after praying all night about it and with his mother as to what he should do with the ashes, he then waded out into the ocean and scattered my brother's ashes to sea. Mount Peak in Enumclaw and Indian Henry's hunting ground in Mount Rainier National Park were other places where ashes were scattered. Lowell and I didn't feel we could make the 13-mile hike to Indian Henry, so Don, Nadine, Matire, and Pastor Dan Miller did the hike for us. Dan made a video for us, so it was almost like being there. We so appreciated what they did, as it was one of the places my brother wanted his ashes scattered. A year ago, Don, Loretta, Lowell, and I hiked to a place on Tiger Mountain called Carkin's Cliff and buried part of his ashes there. This past week, Lowell and I returned there to place flowers, as it's the only place that ashes have actually been placed. I wish that Don and Loretta could have been with us to say a prayer and sing How Great Thou Art. My brothers spent hundreds of hours doing trail work on Tiger Mountain, and a plaque was placed on a tree there to honor him. Some of the other adventures involved was the walk that Don and Loretta took over all of the Washington State passes. We picked Don up one time up at Linman on the North Cascades Highway. Stayed the night with Don and Loretta on Snoqualmie Pass, met them at Stampede Pass where Don and Loretta renamed it John Carkin Pass for a short time. Please see the picture on the display here at the church. We also met them on Chinook and Cayuse Pass. Sometimes we would walk with Don, and sometimes we would wait with Loretta. When they did the county walk, we met them on San Juan Island, our first visit there, another adventure. When Don and Loretta did the walk for Maria Federici on the John Wayne Trail, we walked many miles with him, including the last segment that ended on the Yakima firing range. Jack Matire was there with him on that segment. Don did this 100-plus mile walk blindfolded. It's all been a wonderful adventure. On their last 3,000-mile walk to New York, I talked to Loretta every Saturday when I could reach her. She would tell me where they were and where they would be by the next Saturday. I would then highlight it on my map. It was almost like being there with them. It's incredible what Loretta does to make all of this possible, such as arranging lodging and seeing that Don has something to eat and drink, also spending just lots of time waiting. I don't know how many wives would have done that. If you haven't seen the wonderful scrapbooks she makes of their walks, they are a must-see. I hope I haven't forgotten something I meant to say. I love them both with all my heart and consider them my very special friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.